Hey everybody, Adrian here, blendrecommender.com, and today I want to kind of compare and contrast, review a little bit, three different over-the-counter OTC blends. Really common, they've been around for a really long time, and I think it makes sense to kind of go back to kind of the roots as far as American blends and pipe smoking. These have been around for a really long time. For a reason, for the most part they're pretty good. Now they're basic, they're simple, there's nothing really complex about them, so when you're looking at the boutique blends and reading reviews on different blends that have all different types of components, tobacco wise, you're not going to see these are going to be often overlooked, not only by long time smokers, pipe smokers, but also beginners, because they may write them off as just being kind of cheap and run of the mill. They see them in their local drugstore, and so they don't have the allure or the mystique that some of the more the fancier blends do. So, but I don't want to overlook them, and I think they are a great starting point for anybody looking to get into smoking a pipe. A lot of people, they get interested in the idea of smoking a pipe. They'll pick up an aromatic. A lot of times it'll be an over-the-counter aromatic, and it'll be cherry or some real good smelling fruity blend or chocolate, vanilla, something like that. And a lot of times they'll give up and quit smoking a pipe simply because with the heavy casing that those aromatics have, they are harder to keep lit. And if you smoke them too fast, then you can get tongue bite. So more on that later, but the dreaded tongue bite discourages a lot of folks who haven't learned to get their cadence down yet when they're smoking a pipe. So I highly recommend some of these simpler Burley, Virginia blends that you'll find in your local drugstore. So the three that we're going to talk about and they all come in 1.5 ounce pouches, and you can also buy them, some stores will carry a 14 ounce tub, or you can order that online. But the first one is half and half, and this one is going to be kind of the outlier in the group, and I'll explain why in just a second. And then we have Carter Hall, and this is a straight Burley blend. It does have a casing and has a top note on it. It's light. It's not an aromatic in my opinion, but it does have a sweet taste to it that is added. And then last, Sir Walter Raleigh, just the regular Sir Walter Raleigh. They also have an aromatic version, but this review we're going to stick with just the Burleys. This also has a slight flavoring added to it, but like I said, very, very minimal. You barely notice it. So I said half and half would be the outlier of the three, and that is because first, it's not just a straight Burley blend. It has Burley and Virginias, and it is more heavily sweetened. It has a heavier casing applied to it, and you know that as soon as you open the pouch and smell it. It smells, real heavy of raisins, whereas the other two, they have that more classic kind of nutty, burly smell to them. So I would recommend trying half and half, but I don't rate it very highly. It's inexpensive, and if you're looking to cross over from aromatics, you might like that extra sweetness that this Burley Virginia blend has. Because it's so readily available and it's inexpensive, you don't have a whole lot to lose. You might really like it. Some folks swear by it. So I would recommend at least trying it, but I wouldn't give it a real high rating personally. Carter Hall is one of my favorites because it does have, even though the flavor is subtle, if you let it come to you, if you don't really strain to look for the different flavors within this blend, because you're not going to find them, but if you just let it come to you and enjoy the smoke, you will be rewarded. It is a very smooth, almost kind of creamy, nutty, buttery flavor, And it's one of those tobaccos that you can enjoy and just not think about it, you know. So if you're doing something else, you're working in the yard, or for me, I love to smoke it when I'm fishing. You know, if I'm focused on something else, but I want to enjoy a pipe at the same time, something like this really hits the spot. It's a great choice. Sir Walter Raleigh, same thing for me. And I believe the flavors, the difference between Sir Walter Raleigh and Carter Hall, you know, it's not real broad, pretty minimal. I think if you like one, you're probably going to like the other. The big difference between the two is Sir Walter Raleigh is not a ribbon cut. It is what it's called a coarse cut. And I'm going to show that to you guys now. Alright, so here I have you know, some small samples of each one outside of the pouch, and you can get a better idea of the cut of each tobacco, and I can show you the difference there in the coarse cut with the Sir Walter Raleigh. First, half and half. Get zoomed in on that. Alright, so standard, you know, kind of a thick ribbon cut, and you can see some of the, you know, the lights and the darks there with the Burley and the Virginia. And then Carter Hall, very similar looking. The cut is very similar as well, but like I said, it doesn't have near as heavy a casing on it, so it's not going to be near as sweet. It's going to have more of a nutty flavor to it. And then the last, Sir Walter Raleigh, and this is the one I said is coarse cut, and the difference here is going to be there's pieces that are small and almost kind of chunky, and I read a lot of people compare it to kind of the texture and size of granola, and I think that's a great comparison. You know, that it really does kind of look like that and feel like that. I think it really helps when you are loading the pipe. I mean, I usually use a cob when I'm smoking any of these OTCs, and I like to just dip the pipe bowl right down into the pouch and load the pipe that way. Super easy, and then I can, you know, go on fishing and doing what I'm doing and not think too much about it. So, you know, that is what they look like. All right, so in summation, you know, I recommend this to people. I say at least try it. It'll give you kind of a litmus test whether or not, you know, you want to try something that has a little less casing if you're already smoking over-the-counter aromatics. But it's not something that's going to impress you long term, in my opinion. I think you probably grow out of half and half pretty quickly. Carter Hall, highly recommend. Very simple flavor, but it's good. It's creamy, buttery, like I said, kind of a nutty flavor. Sir Walter Raleigh, the same thing, just like with Carter Hall, in my opinion. But I think it's easier to load and pack into a cob when you're out, you know, waist deep in a trout stream. So this one gets my nod, but I will smoke any of the three of them. And a great thing about these over-the-counter, mostly Burley blends, is if you ever get into you know, kind of a rut where you're not really enjoying the taste of you know, your other, you know, more expensive tobacco blends, this is almost like you know, having a lemon or something during a multi-course meal to cleanse your palate. Smoke a few bowls of you know, the lesser expensive Burley blends like Sir Walter Raleigh or Carter Hall, and kind of just get back to the basics. And when you enjoy those flavors, for me anyway, then I can kind of go back to, you know, some of the more complicated blends and the vapors and enjoy them more. For whatever reason, it just kind of pushes reset on the taste buds. So that is my you know, review of the three OTCs, Carter Hall, Sir Walter Raleigh, half and half. And you know, I really appreciate if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video. And then also, Blend Recommender on Facebook. You can like and follow me there. And also on Instagram. So we've got some pictures up on Instagram as well. Blend Recommender. Really look forward to, you know, talking to everybody through those social media forums as well in the pipe community. Until next time, enjoy your pipes and have a great day.